after your live stream, somebody asked Patty, well, don't you think you were kind of assuming that you were terminated? Because it wasn't Harvey who actually said you're fired. That maybe you should
Well,
have clarified it with him.
probably, but you know, the very next day, his assistant, why can't I think of her name? The one that I like and nobody else does. She called me the next day and said Harvey wanted her to come and pick up my key. So
Oh,
I wasn't really assuming. I mean, it was clear then. Clarissa came to my house and picked up my key, which I also thought was weird because I'd been glad to go out there and drop it off next time I was out, but it's like, ooh, Harvey had to come get it right away. So I didn't break in that night, I guess, and steal his drills or something.
he was afraid you were going to come in and destroy the office or something.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah. Well, geez, that does sound like they were definitely getting rid of you then.
Well, he said he wanted me to come back, but then I think he had the temp that he liked her too, and I think he was always suspicious I wasn't really coming back. Like, you know, I think people who lie a lot are then skeptical about other people, and I was upfront and honest, but you know, he's going to hedge his bets, and no matter who gets screwed over, right? Oh well, he had this temp, he knew she would take the job, so why take a chance? Maybe I won't come back. I don't know.
So, but did you say the last time you spoke with Harvey, he actually praised you and
Oh
said
yeah,
he couldn't go on without you, something like
yeah,
that?
he called me at home, and after he heard what happened, my car accident, and he said, "Well, you're coming back, aren't you? I don't want any other hygienist but you." Laying it on thick, right? But I mean, I did a good job there. The patients liked me, and that's always important that the patients, you know, like you too. And so, I mean, yeah, I thought he was telling me the truth, not to be boastful. I guess that sounds kind of bad, but you know, he was just manipulating me. He was just, I think he was feeling me out because this is back before the days of cell phones and stuff. And I actually think because I came back from my honeymoon, I'll bet he didn't even believe I was in a car accident. And he
Oh,
probably called me at home to see if I answered my phone. That's what I
Wow.
think anyway. But
I've been around people like that.
yeah.
yeah. Well, Porky wants to know, was Harvey a rude boss?
Actually, no, except for the way it ended. That was pretty rude, maybe a little more than rude. But no, he was always very happy and friendly. And I thought very reasonable. You know, I had an hour for each patient. And you know, he paid like a little bit better than the going rate, and he just seemed like he just enjoyed laughing. He wanted, one of those kind of people, they just kind of want to be happy. And then he had this picture of Donna behind the, this big picture of Donna behind the front desk. It's like he was so proud of her, like love of his life, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. You know,
Sure.
because a lot of people would probably be kind of scared to go on camera and talk about them, you know, because
Well,
now you're on their radar again. Like, ooh, there's
yeah,
that Patty person.
and I have thought about going to court, and I think Harvey's going to be there, and I've been thinking, well, should I wear like a mask, like a COVID mask? Because I don't want to talk to Rashbaum either. Like I imagine he watched that.
He's
Yeah.
going to
So
be if he goes, he's going to be avoiding everyone. You know it. He's going to have like horse blinders on, just trying to avoid eye contact. I can imagine.
Yeah. He'll
Rashbaum,
probably,
good.
no, Harvey.
Oh,
Harvey,
Harvey. Oh,
he would
yeah,
probably avoid eye contact with
you're
you.
right. Yeah. But you know, I keep reading about. Well, I've read about Harvey has this horrible temper, so I'm like, I better sit back a couple because I'm going to sit on that side because I want a view of the jury, but I'm going to have to sit back a couple rows, I guess.
Like father, like son. I mean, we heard what was
Yeah.
he was dumping water on June. What a
Oh, I know. When I read through the script, I hadn't read it before, and
oh,
I was pretty horrified how
Jesus.
horrible he was, how mean. Uh, yeah, he had a temper too, definitely.
And conditioning her to just never even speak. Like she just had to listen to him we know from the phone calls, he just lectures endlessly trying to sound like he understands everything. And she was just conditioned to just be like, yes, 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 and not even like have, you know, an identity.
I feel so bad for her because she seems so sweet too. She seems like a sweet person, and I feel bad for any woman who would think they need to put up with that. But I guess if you want a rich boyfriend, maybe it was about money and the big purses, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes. The limo, the fancy vacations that he
Ferrari.
paid for.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton bags. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of guessing more likely Harvey doesn't have the nerve to show up. But if he does, he'll probably have at least a couple of handlers, just like Wendy had her friend running interference for her, being protective of her.
Yeah. I mean, this is his last chance to see her. Or no, I guess he could go visit her in prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling he's going to be there. Did you see him at the airport? It's like he didn't even want to leave. He wanted to go to jail with her. Ever saying, no, he has to go. Well, she's going to jail. He still wanted to go with her.
Meanwhile, she thought he would like require elder care just to get out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, here you have someone who actually knew the Adelsons and saw Wendy and Charlie at her wedding. How did you feel when you saw Wendy and Charlie at your wedding?
Well, I think I was really nervous about the wedding anyway, but I just remember my reaction was just like, oh no, because I had told a friend of mine that she couldn't bring her kids. I just felt horribly embarrassed. You know, it wasn't fair. And the kids weren't on the guest list, and they said they were going to go strictly by that list. So I don't know. I'm sure Harvey did some fancy talking or something.
So with Donna, when you would interact with Donna, did she seem like she genuinely was paying attention to you, or did she seem fake, or just kind of like, was there a genuine connection there whenever you would happen to talk to her? Or?
Well, only time I really saw her is when they had a problem and didn't pay me one week, and they knew I was mad about it. So instead of making me wait till the next week, because I only worked there one day a week, she drove over to my other job to hand deliver my check. And I was still burned up about what happened. So instead of saying thank you, I said, just set it over there. So I'm pretty sure she didn't like being treated like that. I wouldn't either. I actually used to feel a little bit guilty about being rude to her. But then I found out she murdered Dan Markel. I'm like, I don't care now. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, so Patty, what about in terms of who paid for the wedding? Like if that were me, I would have been mad because I'd be like, now I have to foot the bill for these 2 extra guests.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't even think of that at the time, but later I did, and I just thought that was so assuming and so rude. And the fact was, he and Charlotte weren't really on the guest list either. Charlotte asked me if they could come, so I was kind of doing them a favor when, you know, we only had 35 people there, so I was really limited to close family and friends. And then, I went ahead and said they could come, and then they bring 2 more. Like, well,
that's just so rude. Yeah. Well, did Charlotte give you a gift?
No. And I didn't even think of that either. Really, my whole thing was seeing the kids there and knowing my friend, who I'm sure had to struggle to pay a babysitter because they didn't have a lot of money. And she was the daughter of a boss I had long ago. We were friends, we were friends for years. And she was recently married and had 2 little kids. And, you know, if anybody could have brought their kids, I would have said they could. So I was just so embarrassed. I felt terrible. I hope I talked to her and told her what happened.
Yeah, that way she wouldn't feel like, what? How come these random kids were invited, but my kids couldn't come? Yeah.
And just think if there was a fluky thing happened and a juror who couldn't sleep, and then, I mean, then all of them, I mean, they might, if they're all Adelsons are tried together and heaven forbid something goes wrong, you could blow it for everybody. you know, if they get off or have to retry them. But yeah, I like that one at a time. And she's gaining steam each time she gets one, and then she comes in a little stronger, a little more evidence. And Wendy, that's going to be the big prize.
Yes.
I want to see Charlie on the stand. The looks between him and Donna. You know what I mean? If he is on the stand. I can't imagine if they bring him down here if he's not, though.
Yeah, same here. But Mentor Lawyer didn't think that they would really call him because he still has the right, his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Right. So why would he want to say something when he's got an appeal?
Yeah.
I think we'll get Katie, and that's going to be interesting, seeing Katie staring Donna down and just being like, here's how it is. This is
I'm telling the truth. Telling the truth now, finally.
We hatched this plan on freaking a Halloween party. Like, you know, if this turns into a film with, you know, I think that should only happen if the writer and director and producers go to, you know, not Charlie's, but Dan Markel's family and actually get their buy-in. But if this was a film, it's got to open up with that scene outside the Halloween party. I mean, that is so cinematic. It's so just evil. What a setting for Charlie to ask her outside of a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Do you know someone that could do this to somebody? Like, that is so cinematic. I can just imagine it in a film trailer.
Did you hear about how Donna was going crazy calling Rashbaum multiple times over that weekend before you went on my show?
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because it was Saturday when I set up the StreamYard. So it showed up on my YouTube page. So people who were subscribed to me would probably, you know, see that show up on YouTube. So that's what I'm assuming, because why would she be freaking out and suddenly calling Rashbaum, I don't know, 20 times or so on a weekend?
Chain calling.
Yeah. Because, you know, even Charlie had mentioned this channel when he was talking with his child's mom, because the child's mom heard about Ryan Fitzpatrick coming to be on live. What would you say to Donna if you saw her, Patty? Just putting you on the spot. Do you have any words?
I don't even know what I would say. I'm just so, it's just so disgusting that her convenience was worth more than a man's life and her grandson's father. Their relationship with a sane guy who could have brought so many positive things to them, completely opposite of what the Adelsons brought with their dysfunctional hatred. Just, I don't even know what I say. You know what I'd like to say to Rashbaum? I would like to tell Rashbaum, do the right thing. You need to tell Donna to beg for a deal, because you're not going to get anywhere. You did it with Charlie. You lost miserably with Charlie in less than 3 hours. Where in that equation do you think it's going to work for her? He's just, you know, going to the bank, with his money. I don't think he's not doing right by them.
No, those kids are the Adelson family, the least. I mean, they could not possibly care about those little boys any less. I mean, it's just, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, of course, but Wendy, my God, it's like the last human souls on earth that she took into consideration through all this was her children. Mm-hmm. And that is like the most selfish possible thing a parent could possibly do.
I wouldn't do that.
I ordered these little brooch backings and a little spoons, because I want to make spoon brooches, but I couldn't find little spoons, so I had this idea. I looked up on Amazon silverware for doll houses, so that's what I ordered. I'm going to get these pins with spoons. I'm going to have 4 of them, so I'll give you one, Judy.
That's cool. Wait, where did you get it again?
I'm going to make them. I ordered the brooch. It's just the backing of a brooch. And then I ordered some jewelry glue and these little dollhouse. It's plates and the whole silverware, like 4 settings. So I'll have 4 spoons.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I got
Okay,
that
that's
from Judy because you said, oh, you got the owl earrings and I forget, a necklace, something else. So, you know what I don't like is Charlie on the, it might be the jail calls. At some point, he's talking to maybe his mom about what to do about the dog. Well, can't go to Breeze because her apartment is too small. And this is the mother of his son, his little boy, and he owned 2 houses. You mean he couldn't let her, even if he didn't give it to her, couldn't let her just go live in one of those 2 houses till his son was 18? I thought that was really very cheap.
That is very strange, but like, remember, for a little while there, his child's mother was constantly posting, maybe on Reddit, and she also was posting on Fancy Fiction's chat for a little while. I mean, she made it, yeah, she made it sound like it was her own choice to leave Florida after Charlie was arrested. And so this is public record, but I saw in the public court records that she had been sued for either unpaid rent or, yeah, I think it had to do with not paying rent on time. And maybe that's how she got evicted from an apartment. So I was like, that's sad. Why wouldn't Charlie or Harvey and Donna give her enough money so she could pay her rent on time? That's not right.
Right.
You know, if I were her, I'd be pissed off. It's like, wait, Janice is living for free at Whale Harbor, and they just sold Tortugas Lane, probably made like, what? If it was paid off, I think it sold for, was it like over $1 million? Maybe.
I don't remember. But
yeah, I can't. No, they had to drop the price over and over and over again. But anyway, they made, Charlie or the family made good money off of Tortugas Lane. So anyway, so let me advocate for Charlie's baby mama for once and say, hey, the Adelson should be giving her more money so she can help pay for the child and not have to be in an apartment. You know, that's just weird. Yeah. But who knows what they're giving her now. Do you guys have any like big opinions you'd like to share with people?
Ready to get this case going.
Yeah.
The hype is real.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really. I just want to see him nab Wendy. I want to see them get her so bad. And I used to have, my big thing was, I really blamed it all on Donna. I thought she was the big catch, but now it's like, no, it's Wendy. The more you learn about this, the more you can see how she was really
influencing,
scheming and pushing buttons, and
that's right.
She's smart.
Threw her own family under the bus. She started at her police interview, like that's why she said those things.
Do you think, Patty, that tipped off Harvey, so he quickly switched to being bad Harvey?
I don't know. I have a feeling, I wonder if they got those WhatsApp messages because Harvey didn't know what he was doing. Because I have WhatsApp. I talked to a friend in Australia. And I notice every now and then I get a message that he has changed the settings. And he's changed the settings so messages will disappear after 7 days. And if you don't know to do that, which I didn't, my messages are all still there. So I wonder if Harvey left his and didn't know to do that, but Scott would have, though, I'll bet. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but with the tax fraud, though, I kind of feel like if his employees are still so loyal to him, then who's going to help the IRS? Who will help the authorities get him for tax fraud? You know, like if he still has friends and people who are not going to come forth and say, oh, yeah, he would pull in, $100,000 in cash, and, the tenants who would pay them rent in cash and stuff. If nobody's going to come forward and help the authorities, then they could get away with that too if it were a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how Clarissa and Erica testify this time. Do you think it's going to be so awkward because they'll be testifying against Donna?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. She was one of their bosses, right? Yeah. I don't know. I just think they're blindly loyal.
Yeah, but luckily they didn't seem as dopey as they did before, because I think Georgia or one of the prosecutors, whoever did their direct, they were very specific with their questions. So it wasn't anything where Clarissa or Erica had to feel uncomfortable or try to waffle or lie about stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they presented it all. I mean, they did seem more credible last time. Although Erica did say hi, wave to Charlie when she left. Yeah, which was weird.
I'm tired of seeing people picking on Jeff Lacasse. I mean, if I have a message for you all, knock it off. This guy's a hero. He's brave. He's been through a traumatic experience. It makes me so angry that people then want to make him have to kick himself and live with guilt, like, oh, if I would have notified the police, that would have saved his life. Like he hasn't been through enough already. They should be trying to put a guilt trip on him, and he's the hero in this case. Well, one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he had so much good information to help the authorities and fill in the puzzle pieces regarding Wendy, especially. So, yeah, I'm definitely Team Jeff Lacasse all the way. And if you guys haven't seen the Society Pages YouTube channel, he has this really awesome, funny video called Thank You, Jeff. And, it's so funny. Yeah, I don't know where he got some footage where there's like this man like on his stomach writing in a diary, thanking Jeff, and guys like dancing around and stuff. Yeah.
We love Jeff.
Right. Yeah. What do you think of Jeff?
He's an all-star. I mean, he said that he took notes of his own accounts of things to make sure that like it wouldn't be spoiled over time and that his memory would serve him. So he wrote it all down in journals. I mean, my God, he's so like conscientious about his opinion.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's an all-star, really. I can't imagine a better witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since he's a professor, he has that good speaking ability where he's like thinking about all the details and making sure he's speaking accurately and correcting things. Yeah. So yeah, I think he does great on the stand, and he comes across as totally credible to me. So I hope he's doing okay, because this has definitely been a big stressor on him for so many years.
I think he's up for the task, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sigfredo is just sticking it to the wall by not cooperating. Not sure if it's a snitch code. Yeah, I mean, it could be, because supposedly if you're known as a snitch in prison, then people will, beat you up or something. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it's because most of the anti-Jeff people have been banned by the Markel YouTube channels by now. So, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I don't fault him at all for not running to the police, just because Wendy blurted something during one of her like emotional outbursts. Yeah.
One of many.
Yeah, he's a star witness, well-spoken, would likely love to get on with the rest of its life.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Okay, great. Okay, any parting words? Since I'm so sorry I kept you guys for so long. Gosh.
Oh, this was fun.
Justice for Dan.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. Yeah, thank you. And so next Saturday, Bruce and Donna and I are going to be doing another trivia contest. And, I mean, I think people enjoy it. It's not to make light of the murder or something. In fact, I was thinking of making a donation to Justice for Dan. So for every point that the winner gets, I would multiply that by whatever, like $5, and donate the money to Justice for Dan. So, and hopefully we'll also have a prize for the winner too, because I've been ordering some stuff. So yeah, so hopefully you guys will come back on Saturday night at, I think 7:30. Yeah. So, and if you guys want to help be on the screen and help read questions and make witty banter too, that would be great too.
But you do have a prize because you have more owl earrings.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because Patty's going to give back the owl earrings that I mailed to her, because I didn't realize she didn't have pierced.
Well,
earrings.
They
Years
were
and years.
pierced at one time, but they grew back in. So I would have to re-pierce them. But now I remember why I let them grow back in. The metal always bothers my ears, no matter whether it's gold or silver or anything. So
Yeah.
don't wear them.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope, have you had time to read Ruth Markel's book?
Yes. It was brilliant and traumatizing. It was devastating. That's the word I'm looking for. It was devastating, but it was it's a wealth of information for people who are hooked to this case. In fact, you have more books you could give as a prize too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have any more books, but if Ruth has them for sale directly at Tallahassee, I'll be glad to buy up some more copies too.
I ordered 2 copies. You're going to get them on the 24th.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
well, thank you.
On
You don't have to.
It was $52, but the price dropped. I don't know why. It's $22 now, so I ordered up 2 for you. Because you were so kind to me. You were so generous. Judy sent me her own book because at the time I didn't have one. I really wanted to read it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It made me tear up so many times, like at the beginning where Ruth was talking about how her son never was involved in any vices or he didn't have any enemies. And, he lived a good, clean, straight and narrow type of life. Yeah. And also the part when she talked about how she gave Dan's toddler blankets to Wendy to give to the boys, and the boys, one of the sons just grabbed the blanket and seemed like to be, really happy that he was like cuddling with his dad's blanket. But then later she went back and the blankets had disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cruel. Like, what happened to the blankets? Did Wendy or Donna just toss the blankets
Probably
in the trash?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Like all this stuff behind the scenes where Dan's poor parents and sister have had to suffer so many indignities because of Wendy and Donna, the way they were treated and had their emotions played around with, and how Wendy kept playing games with them about getting to see the boys after the memorial service. That made me really mad. So
yeah,
like lying to her, like, oh, now's not a good time. Oh, we're busy. You can't see the boys. Oh, that's maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was just very disturbing, and everybody who cares about this case should definitely try to get a copy of Ruth Markel's book.
Yeah.
What is Patty's channel?
PattyN 1032.
Yes. So if you search for that, PattyN 1032, you should be able to find her channel and also support. Oh, and Remy, you have a channel now too, don't you?
Yeah, it's just barely there for if I'm doing any sort of like drawings or anything like that. So yeah, much more active on Instagram. So actually, I just reached 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm doing a
really? Wow.
Doing
congratulations.
One giveaway, but it's kind of a weird one. So I don't think many people. Well, actually, I think there's already like 30 or 40 people participating. So the winner will get to tell me their worst nightmare situation, and I will work with them to create a short story personalized for them where they live out their worst nightmare. So.
Wow.
So what is your Instagram handle?
It's Remy Oliver Horror.
Is it all one word?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time, and we'll definitely be in touch. And Patty, I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Justice for Dan Markel.
Yes.
Get your taco stuff, even if you just get Old El Paso instant taco mix. We got to have some on hand.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys next time. Thank you for caring.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.